Do you ever just dream about food? Because that's all I dreamt about last night. We're on the final section here, heading over Kearsarge Pass to get into Bishop, where after 7 days, we finally get to eat some town food. This is day 54 of my hike from Mexico to Canada along the Pacific Crest Trail. Up before the sun again, leaving our beautiful camp spot from last night and making the final ascent up to Kearsarge Pass. This was a 7.5 mile trail, technically not a part of the PCT, but would be our entrance into the town of Independence and how we'd be able to hitch into Bishop. The descent would take us past an alpine lake, but no polar plunge this time, as we were in a race for town food. We get a small glimpse of actual wildlife, and then we would enter into Onion Valley Campground, the end of our side trek, and entrance into town. We've got to figure out a way to get to Bishop so we can resupply, eat a ton of food, then head back right here so we can pound the rock back over Kearsarge Pass and start our next section to Mammoth. With this being a Monday, there's not really any cars, so we took to the road until Paul showed up and said he would take us into Independence for 20 bucks a head, which we could not turn down. He dropped us off the main road of town, and this time we'd actually be able to get a real hitch as they were on their way home, driving through Bishop so they could drop us off at McDonald's. A quick feast of cheap calories, and then was off to the East Side Guest House in Bivy, where we'd be staying for the next couple nights. We'd get the opportunity to call family after a 7-day stretch, and then check out our digs where we'd be staying. Once the afternoon rain began to fall, we decided to head over to Schatz Bakery for a little bit of lunch, check out what they had in stock, and then sit outside to enjoy some focaccia bread, as well as the simple pleasures of just meat and cheese. Mammoth Gear Exchange was next, as some of the gang needed to grab some additional pieces here for this next stretch. Nightbird thought about grabbing a bike and just meeting us north. And then we'd head back to the guest house to throw on some comfy clothes as we would be heading to Mission Impossible 8 at the local theater. We'd watch the final installation of Tom Cruise, and then we'd head out to a late dinner at the only spot open in town, Taco Bell. Doors were locked, so we had to head around back to the drive-thru on foot, place our orders, and then pretend to be in cars and go pick it up at the window. Well, we've walked through the drive-thru of Taco Bell. If that isn't any sign that this night is over, I don't know what it is. We're going to do our resupply, finish up some stuff, and get back on the trail tomorrow. So see you guys in the morning.